Welcome to DivTech 101, aka Black Mentor, as we discuss information technology, also known as IT. In today's video, we'll be discussing the Linksys EA6400 wireless router, and we'll also be talking about the Netgear MR6500 Wi-Fi hotspot router through AT&T, and then last but not least, the Surfboard SB6141 modem manufactured by Motorola. And these are the different devices that you can use for what we're going to be going over today. What we're basically going to be doing is we're going to be taking the wireless router that we have here, the Linksys wireless router, and we're going to be connecting that to the Netgear AT&T hotspot to see if we can get an internet connection through it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Audio Jungle.
But before we do so, just want to let you know as well that being in IT, I understand there are many ways to accomplish a simple yet complex task. So I hope that this video today will help you. Let's jump right into it and create that digital mark. Now, before we get into our IT work, you all know that I always like to go ahead and get me a beverage to drink on. So today's beverage I'm going to be drinking on is going to be my Tazo ice green tea. So definitely hit the description up if you want to purchase it through Amazon. I will have my Amazon affiliate link on there, being an Amazon associate. So just take advantage of that if you can, support the channel. But a couple things I want to do, people, is I want to make sure before we get into each device and start configuring things, I want to make sure that I explain and go over some of the products that I have here. So one of the first things that I want to go over is the Linksys EA6400. Now this right here is a wireless router that you will have plugged out to your modem if you have your home service there. And so pretty much with this right here, as you can see, we have our WPS button over here, as well as a USB port to plug in, maybe like a terror station or something if you got one that's USB connected. We got our ports 1 through 5 here actually, and the port right here that has the yellow facing there, which is the internet port, is where we're going to be plugging the Ethernet cable into here, and we're going to be plugging the other end into our hotspot as well. So we're going to go into it. Now this wireless router right here I already set up. However, for the sake of this video and tutorial purposes, I'm going to be clicking that reset button and resetting this, and we cannot leave out the power button on this at all. Now with the Linksys EA6400 router that I pretty much have here, just want to kind of go over just a little bit of things with it. So pretty much with the Linksys EA6400 wireless router, this thing is pretty much designed for use in your households or maybe like a small business. So if you have like a small office where you just have like a few people, this is pretty good for that. But it is part of the Linksys Smart Wi-Fi series, so it does come with like a little card that you can get with it in order to tap devices into it without entering a password. So it's pretty cool of a tap to connect, but it provides definitely a fast and reliable wireless connectivity throughout your home, office, and everything. Now, it also supports 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz of wireless frequencies, and offers some speeds up to about 300 megabytes on the 2.4 gigahertz band to 867 megabytes on the 5 gigahertz band. Now it does have 3 external antennas for extended coverage if you need to put that on there, so that's pretty cool. But it does come with Linksys smart Wi-Fi app that you can use with that as well there. So this is a little bit of an older model. I've had this for a few years, but I still use it from time to time when testing out things and stuff like that. And some of you are pretty familiar as well with the Surfboard SB6141, and this right here is a modem, a cable modem. So some of you may have fiber directly to your home, but this right here is just an older device that I got here. Now if you plan on buying your own equipment for your home, some people prefer to buy these devices right here, and then this is your wireless modem. I'm sorry, your sorry not water smart, but your a modem here. And so what happens is when you have the cable coming in through the wall of your house, you basically plug your cable into here. You take an Ethernet cable, plug it in there, and then the other end, if you don't have like a switch, you basically plug the other end of the cable into the yellow port there on this right here. So so this is going to be really neat here. But this little device right here, I mean, like I said, it's old. It's pretty much compatible with most providers: Comcast, Time Warner, Cable, Charter, and among others. But it is a DOCSIS 3.0, so you're only going to get speeds up to 343 megabytes download and 131 megabytes upload, depending on the cable provider in your area. Now, this is a standalone, so which means that it does not include a router or wireless access point. So if you need to set up a wireless in your home, you're going to need a router as well to go with this. But I just want to show you in the video for some people who just have this and the router here. Now, for the sake of today's video, we're going to be removing this out right here, so we're not going to need that. And we're going to move over to the good part of it and the meat of the topics here. But this right here is the Netgear wireless hotspot that we have. And this device, you all, it is extremely nice. I mean, this M6 here is a mobile router, so it can definitely connects with a SIM card on the inside. Now it has unparalleled heights of Wi-Fi 6E, and the speed's about 5G. Pretty much keep your entire family connected, and you can support up to 32 devices with this. So it's perfect for a mobile business staff on the go. So if you're a commuter, first responder, IT technician, or something like that, you basically have that secure Wi-Fi wherever you go. With that right there, people. And I can tell you, I've used this. I love the screen size on here. It's about a 2.8 LCD screen. So that's pretty neat. So you can monitor your Wi-Fi connection and stuff. And we're going to get into that in just a moment here in the video alone by itself. But it's definitely 10 times faster than 4G, of course, with it being 5G as well. So you basically have, broadband connectivity, shorter frequencies and things like that. Now, this right here, for the sake of this video, is for education and entertainment purposes only. This does not mean that you're going to be using this 100% of the time. I just want to show you how you can connect this device to here. And so what we're going to be doing is, since this right here is going to be functioning as a replacement for my modem. So this is what you would have in your house, in your networking closet. We're taking this out and we want to go wireless. So you'll basically come from the service provider over the air through the SIM card into this device right here. And we're going to take the Ethernet port and we're going to enable it on this device right here. So on this, here we have our charging port, USB-C. We have our RJ45 port here, and we got 2 antenna openings here, which we can use to expand coverage. And I'm going to be taking the Ethernet cable and plugging it here, and then plugging the other end into the yellow port here. And then from this yellow port, it's going to leave me 4 slots open. I'm going to plug one of them into my computer that I'm talking to you on right now, and you're going to see the connections and everything there. So let's go ahead and let's jump right into the configuration. All right, so one of the first things you want to do is you want to open the back of this up. Make sure you get the admin username and password for the Netgear device right here. Oftentimes on your wireless routers, you will have a password on the back side of this device here. So make sure you look on that tag and get that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug this in here. So we're going to go ahead and get that plugged in, get some power to it. You'll see the light come on the front of the device itself. Looks like that's coming on. I'm going to go ahead and power on this device here as well. I'm going to let you see that here. And this is going to be really neat, you all, because I really want you all to see like all of this. I'm going to turn this around so we can have our ports that way I can just kind of tilt it up. You can see the ports and everything. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and plug in my cable. Remember, we're going to do it in the yellow port. And while we're at it here, I am going to go ahead, just going to take a pen. You can take not only a pen, you can take a paper clip, and we're going to basically hold the button down over here for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we should see the light go off there. There we go. So this is going to reset itself here. So we're going to let that reset. And then over here on this device right here, once you load this up, you're going to see a lot of useful information on here. And so what we're going to do from this point is we're going to go ahead and just get this started here. We're going to swipe up on the device itself, and it's going to let us know pretty much that the Wi-Fi network on here has been disabled, which we want to disable the Wi-Fi on this device right here, and we want to enable Wi-Fi on our wireless router. So depending on what router type you got, you're going to want to get into the configurations and make sure that this is giving out the IP addresses. So we want to make sure this is DHCP enabled here. We want to make sure to turn this off as far as the Wi-Fi for it displaying the name of the network, because we want our devices to connect to this device, our wireless router, and not the AT&T hotspot yet. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cancel out of that. And right now you see our network onto there. Now this right here is showing that we have internet connection here. You can basically click that. It's going to read you all some information. One thing for sure that you want to do on here, you want to make sure that you have the mobile cellular option on here. We can go back, and then pretty much from there you're going to turn the Wi-Fi off. So that should show off right there on the Wi-Fi connection itself. So you'll see it listed off. And then from here, I just like to go into the settings. I go to more, and I'm going to go to Ethernet. And once you go into Ethernet here, you want to make sure Ethernet is turned on. That way we're able to use the RJ45 port right here, okay? So our next step is we're going to go ahead and we're going to plug in our device here. So one end of the cable is plugged into the Linksys router, and the other side is plugged into our hotspot here. I'm gonna leave these side by side here so you all are able to see everything. We'll get that squared away. All right, so I'm gonna wait for this right here to get everything started up and all, and we're gonna pause the video for a second. We're gonna get our desktop connected, and then we're gonna move from there. All right, so what we're gonna do is once we get everything plugged up, by default you may be on Wi-Fi, just click over to Ethernet. And what you're going to do is you're going to be looking for your router. So basically the desktop or your laptop is going to get an IP address itself. Subnet mask, of course, is going to be the same. And then the router, what this is looking at is it's looking at your Wi-Fi router that you have that's going to function as your small switch. So basically that address that I just showed you is referencing this device right here. And so what I'm going to do from that point, people, is I'm just going to go ahead and just enter in. I'm just going to copy that address here. I'm just going to go ahead and enter it in the URL. I'm going to paste that there. And that's going to take us to our wireless Wi-Fi router. We're going to set that up, and we want this to be giving out the IP addresses as well as DHCP as well. So we're going to wait for that to load. I'm going to go ahead and enter in the information and get this set up, then we'll come right back to it. So we're going to say test network 1. And we just need this password 1. And let's see if I can keep that in mind as I'm going through this too. And notice how my IP address information, all that is popping on and off. That's perfectly fine. This is just trying to connect. Do password 1. Make sure that you all practice good security protocol, making it some really complex passwords. I'm just doing an easy one for the sake of this video, just to get this set up. Your configurations, you may have to tweak most definitely to fit your network. I'm just showing you the bare basics here and at least getting a connection and get everything started. All right, so we are on our Linksys homepage here. I'm actually enjoying this type of content here, you all. So I'm going to pause the video so that way y'all don't have to wait for this to restart everything, and we'll jump right to it. All right, so once you get logged into your wireless router, this is what you're going to do next. You're going to go, this page right here is my Linksys. Remember, this is the we're running our Wi-Fi off of here and our Ethernet connection, hardline connections off of the Linksys. The sole purpose of the Netgear wireless hotspot is to only use this as a modem / router. That's all we're going to be using this for. We're not using it for the Wi-Fi purposes because Wi-Fi is turned off. But what you would do is you go ahead and go into your settings and you go to local network and you can set your IP address to be whatever you want. On here, we got a 10.30.87.109. So that means that any device that we have that is going to connect to our wireless router is going to have a 10.30.87 address. But this right here is the actual router's web address. So you can go into a web browser, type in 10.30.87.109. This is going to be how you can configure your wireless router. But then any device that you got connected, you're going to make sure it's on DHCP, and you do a start IP address. So you can start at like 1 or 2. And then from there, you can use any numbers of maximum number of users between 100 and from 154 is what it had me set by default to 253 is totally your range. So that way you can see the range of addresses right here. And pretty much we're just gonna open up another web page, and we're just gonna go to msn.com. And bam, we got msn.com there. We're going to go ahead and look at our, from here, we're going to look at our network settings. You can see for our desktop, it's the 10.30.87.100. So just grab the 100 address. And we see our subnet mask. We see our router address is the 87.109. And the DNS, of course, is what it put it by default. And then from our actual hotspot, we're going to go ahead and check this right here. And we can see that here, we're going to actually cancel that. We see our address information. So right there, you see your IPv4 address, which is the 10.37.139.175, which is this is the address for this right here. And then it's got a DNS server, which is reaching out to AT&T there. And you can see all that pertinent information there. And people, that right there is how you connect your AT&T Netgear Nighthawk router to your wireless router within your home. In their wireless router, we routed our cables from here, it being our main port, directly to the back side of the router as well. And as you can see, we went from this hotspot right here. We ran our cable over to the internet port on the back of this right here. And then we took our other cable right here that's in port 1 and we ran it to our desktop computer. And that alone, people, is how we got our internet connection, okay? So like, listen, subscribe to the channel, DevTech101, aka Black Mantle. Look forward to bringing more content to you all soon. Don't forget to hit the description and also hit some of the affiliate links that are within there. The affiliate links are basically going to take you to our Amazon page where you can see some of the really cool items that I have listed on the page. By going in and looking at those and purchasing items through the affiliate links really helps out the YouTube channel, and I greatly appreciate you all for doing that as being an Amazon affiliate. Look forward to bringing more content to you all soon.